Hasdai ben Abraham Crescas was a Spanish Jewish philosopher and a renowned halakhist. Along with Maimonides, Gersonides, and Joseph Albo, he is known as one of the major practitioners of the rationalist approach to Jewish philosophy, and his positions on issues of natural law and free will in Or Adonai can be seen as precursors to those of Spinoza. Biography. Hasdai Crescas came from a family of scholars. He was the grandson of the Talmudist Hasdai ben Judah Crescas, and a disciple of the Talmudist and philosopher Mariusmm ben Reuben, known as the radium nitride. Following in the footsteps of his teacher, he became a Talmudic authority and a philosopher of great originality. He is considered important in the history of modern thought for his deep influence on Baruch Spinoza. After leaving Barcelona, he held the administrative position of Crown Rabbi in Aragon. He seems to have been active as a teacher. Among his fellow students and friends, Isaac ben Sheshay, famous for his responsa, takes precedence. Joseph Albo is the best known of his pupils, but at least two others have won recognition: Rabbi Mattathias of Saragossa, and Rabbi Zechariah ha-Levi. Crescas was a man of means. As such, he was appointed sole executor of the will of his uncle Vitalis Hasdai by the King of Aragon in 1393. Still, though enjoying the high esteem even of prominent non-Jews, he did not escape the common fate of his co-religionists. Imprisoned with his teacher upon a false accusation of host desecration in 1378, he suffered personal indignities because he was a Jew. His only son died in a massacre in Barcelona in 1391, a martyr for his faith, during the anti-Semitic persecutions of that period. Nevertheless, he kept his faith. Notwithstanding this bereavement, his mental powers were unbroken, for the works that have made him immortal were written after the terrible year. Another episode of his life worthy of note is connected with the appearance of the pseudo-Messiah of Cisneros, one of whose adherents he became. In 1401–02 he visited Joseph Albo at Pamplona at the request of the King of Navarre, who paid the expenses of his journey to various Navarrese towns. He was at the time described as Rav of Saragossa. His works on Jewish law, if indeed ever committed to writing, have not reached us, but his concise philosophical work Or Adonai, the Light of the Lord, became a classical Jewish refutation of medieval Aristotelianism, and a harbinger of the scientific revolution in the 16th century. Three of his writings have been preserved. His primary work, Or Adonai, the Light of the Lord, an exposition and refutation of the main doctrines of Christianity. This treatise was written in Catalan in 1398. The Catalan original is no longer extant, but a Hebrew translation by Joseph ibn Shem Tov, with the title, has been preserved. The work was composed at the solicitation of Spanish noblemen. Crescas' object in writing what is virtually an apologetic treatise on Judaism was to present the reasons which held the Jews fast to their ancestral faith. His letter to the congregations of Avignon, published as an appendix to Wiener's edition of Shevet Yehuda, in which he relates the incidents of the persecution of 1391. List of works: The Light of the Lord, The Refutation of the Christian Principles, Daniel Lascar, Sefer Bittul Ikare HaNosvarim by R. Hasdai Crescas, Carlos del Valle Rodriguez, La Inconsistencia de los Dogmas Cristianos, Bittul Ikare HaNosvarim La Hasdai Crescas, Madrid 2000, ISBN 84883241-2-X. Passover Sermon. Important Studies. Harry Ostrom Wolfson, Crescas' Critique of Aristotle. Cambridge, Harvard University Press, 1929. Warren Z. E. V. Harvey, Physics and Metaphysics in Hasdai Crescas, Amsterdam Studies in Jewish Thought, J. C. Gieben, Amsterdam, 1998. Warren Z. E. V. Harvey, Great Spirit and Creativity Within the Jewish Nation, Rabbi Hasdai Crescas, Merkaz Zalman Shazar, Jerusalem, 2010.